The following program is intended for mature audiences.
You're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes.
And download every episode and more at basicallyasportshow.com.
Now here's your hosts, Zach,
Greg, Mike.
And this is Andy, and you're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
How are you feeling after the Cubs? You all right with that?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it was...
You weren't supposed to be there anyway, right?
Well, that's the whole, you guys are playing with house money. It must feel great. And it's like, well.
It would have been nice to win.
It would have, it's better to, I would rather them have lost in the fashion they did than get to, like, the World Series and lose in, like, 7 games.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it's kind of like, well, we can, and plus, like, the worst part about it is that the Mets just fucking bitch slapped them. I mean, there was just from the first pitch, there was no hope, and everybody knew it, and it was just like, stop hitting it. They're already dead. Stop.
Can we call this after 2 games? We're done.
Wasn't it easier, though, don't you think? Because I said if they had to go down, make it quick and easy. Don't drag it out and have a Bartman thing happen or something like that again.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I think helps, because there wasn't some, and everybody's looking for a curse thing or whatever, and I think that's pretty much over. But, I mean, it's exciting. I can't complain. They beat the Cardinals. That was the nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cardinals it was very pleasant. That was very pleasant.
I liked, what's the closer's name, or the guy that was on the mound when they got the last out against the Cards?
Rondon, maybe?
Yeah, he just kind of, the way he just did this, like, just did his fist down, and it was just like the perfect celebration. It wasn't over the top. Nice. It was just kind of like, screw you guys, there you go. That was cool.
Yeah, it was nice. And I mean, I don't know. Like he's like, hey, I got an invite from Greg to to join the Basically Sports guys. Fun. And then I quickly realized it's like, I have no input on sports at all. Like,
that's okay. Neither do we.
I have no thoughts whatsoever.
I just wanted to ask, when the Cubs eliminated the Cardinals, did you indulge yourself and go over to the Best Fans of Baseball Twitter?
No, I didn't. What happened was, so this is kind of embarrassing. I was out at a bar drinking with some coworkers during the game, so I totally didn't even watch it. Like I was like, it's so stressful to sit there and watch. I don't know, something about it. I just felt like I had to remove myself from it. Mm-hmm. And so I celebrated. I watched the game via Twitter, which was, whatever. But then when it was over, I went home and I listened to the post game and just kind of enjoyed myself. Just enjoyed the moment, and I told my little brother to do the same thing. It's just like, man, this doesn't happen often. And I know, obviously it's not a World Series, but considering this team and where they were for the last few years, it's like it's as good as. So just appreciate the moment, enjoy it, slow down, and just drink it in. And it was damn good they did, because they didn't show up. And not that I'm rooting against the Mets. I just don't care. I really don't. I mean, it's nice to see 2 teams get in the World Series that both are kind of thirsting for a title, and their fans would appreciate a victory. I don't know which one is more evil than the other. I'm guessing New York, because it's New York.
I mean, they're both the same, basically since the last title, 85 versus 86.
Yeah.
Right.
The Mets have 2, and I think they've been. I think they have the same amount of postseason appearances, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So the last time I remember the Mets in any significant playoff moment, I get with the Subway Series.
Yeah, Roger Clemens throwing the broken bat back at Piazza.
Right.
Yeah, but he wasn't on steroids or anything.
No,
those guys were all.
What? Why would you say that, Gregory?
I mean, everybody was, when that happened, everybody was like, what's wrong with him? And I'm like, it's roid rage. What the hell do you think's wrong with him? Come on. But yeah, it was, I think that the Cubs, I think we talked about it last week, Andy. I think that you're going to get your World Series, and it's going to be very soon. You've got the best manager in baseball, one of the best GMs in baseball, an incredibly good core of young players there. It's not going to be long.
No, and I mean, that's what's exciting. It's nice to be able to look forward to things again. And I think what this postseason run did, especially by beating the Cardinals, was sort of imbue this fan base. It's a younger fan base, a lot of new fans being created, and just a lot of old timers who are just slowly like, hey, listen, guys, like this curse bullcrap, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Be optimistic. This team showed like they're not even fully developed yet, and they beat a pretty damn good Cardinal team. Yeah, just breathe, just enjoy this, appreciate this, and I think the culture is changing, and that's what's really, really important for that particular franchise. Anyway, I mean, I don't know. It's good and bad. I mean, it sucks to lose, but it's nice to
better to lose this series than the one before it, right?
Sure, right, yeah. Exactly, yeah. And so, I feel bad for
playoff.
And that's what sucks because I think Pirates fans are kind of in the same boat, and I imagine Greg, you were probably pretty upset that.
No, I'm used to it. I know what's going to happen. Seriously, we talked about it back right when the playoffs started. This Pirates team, they're very good, but they're not a World Series team yet. And, it's fun. Like I've told the story before. I started watching the Pirates. It's been, like 7 or 8 years ago now because I felt sorry for them. I'm like, somebody needs to be a fan of these guys. So I thought I'll do it. Nobody can accuse me of being a front runner with these guys, right? Yeah! And it's been really fun to watch them develop, but they're still a couple players away. I think the Cubs are in better shape. I think the Mets, teams like the Royals, the Pirates are right there, but they're just not quite at that level yet. So it wasn't too big of a surprise.
Yeah. You never know though. I mean, with a couple trades, people like to dump on Clint Hurdle but I think a lot of the anguish was from, it's like, well, you can't put my team in a position with this 1 game playoff crap. It's like, well,
those are the breaks, man.
That's exactly. And I think a lot of fans, the immediate reaction was that, like, if they had played them in 7 games or 5 games, then the Pirates, of course, would have won.
No, they wouldn't have. I can tell you. That's the thing.
I'm just saying, that's the immediate reaction, is that it's never the team that fails. It's the circumstances that fail.
Right.
And, I don't know. That is what it is. But
so, Mike, you want to do a little post-mortem on your Blue Jays?
Toronto! It's actually
America's team.
The Toronto Blue Jays.
It's actually kind of strange, to hear the Cubs fan be optimistic about the future, whereas the Blue Jays fan isn't quite as optimistic.
But dude, Mike, your team had the most incredible inning of baseball like ever.
Oh my God, yeah!
And I'll tell you what, man, that home run that is Bautista, right?
Yeah.
He smashed. That was so cool. That was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
The bat flip.
Not only did he the ball, there's nothing left of it. It was turned to ash. Like he hit it so hard, but like that place was so loud. The camera wells were like, it was like an earthquake was happening inside of the dome.
I was watching it on TV. I got texts from my friends like that were just saying, "Burn it down, burn the whole place down." I usually say this with a degree of sarcasm, but I'll say it again. In complete sincerity, that was the most exciting baseball game I've ever seen.
I mean, just the baseball fans everywhere. I wasn't watching live. I watched the replay later, but I mean, the internet just exploded after this happened. And it wasn't even like a Toronto thing. It wasn't, a team by team thing. It was just sort of like it was like, take this and put it inside of a bottle and sell it, because that's incredible stuff.
I'm gonna say this again. They need to make. In 10 years, I want a 30 for 30 documentary on that inning.
You could do one, really, if you think about it. You really could. I mean, there were so many things that happened. What was it, 53 minutes?
It was
53 minutes.
And there were so many things that took place in that inning that you could certainly, I think you'd get a good, maybe not a 2-hour 30 for 30, but you can get a good 52 minutes out of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was just a baseball moment. It was just so cool.
Right. Exactly. So, if anything else, while it sucks to lose, you have that moment, and that's so cool, unfortunately, while it's like, well, they didn't take it all the way, but it's like, I get so sick of that crap. I know, obviously, like, championships are championships, and everyone wants them. They are what define careers and all this stuff. But at the same time, it's just like, man, like, don't let that depreciate what amazing thing that was, because that was cool.
It was exactly. I agree completely with that. It's just and plus, and Andy, you probably know this with the Blackhawks. After you win the championship, everybody hates you. Well, last year it was the weirdest thing I saw take place in the course of a year. Ohio State last year suddenly became like everybody loved them because they beat Alabama.
Right.
And now, but they'd hate us for years. Now they're like, love us again. And now we're right back to everybody hates us again. It's like, well, geez, that was quick.
Well, I think the Ohio State winning was sort of like, it was like, all right, they finally beat Alabama. But then everyone's like, wait.
Yeah, hold on a second here.
They won a bunch of stuff here. They're not like underdogs who rose.
It's Ohio State. They're still a football factory.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the championships are fun though. But yeah, you can't get caught. I mean, God, take it from somebody who was a Browns fan for all those years. You can't get lost in trying to win one because you missed, the forest for the trees, as they say. And,
right.
Yeah, like we had a game in the playoffs, the old original Browns, when they played the Jets. It's still like the coolest football game I've ever seen. And that was the game before the drive, but what are you going to do? So, but yeah, good playoffs though so far.
Yeah,
Speaking of your Cleveland Browns, Greg, I have a fun tab for you.
Oh yeah?
Zach's tabs, all right.
I love Browns tabs.
They're great.
Cool. Now you got to give me a little hint at least.
It's concerning Browns quarterbacks and Halloween decorations.
Oh, this ought to be good. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested to see
graveyards.
But yeah, now the only reason why I'm a bit pessimistic about the Jays is I just don't know how long they can keep this current team together. I mean, the Jays have as much money as anyone in the league. They're owned by Rogers, and that's a huge deal up here in Canada. So they've got a lot of money.
So it's a medium-sized deal here in America, but continue.
I mean, they've got the money. I just don't know if Toronto is the destination that a lot of guys like Tulowitzki or Price want to be in long term. If this is the market they want to be in, so I'm just kind of thinking, is this a team that we can keep together for a 5-year run to get back at it? And I don't know. But, it's the World Series. I was surprised to find out that I wasn't disgusted when the Royals won Game 1. So that's I find certain playoff series imbue you with a sense of hatred of the other team that you might not have had before. Like before this series with the Rangers, I could not have hated the Texas Rangers. I just didn't hate them. I never had any negative opinion of them. But by the end of the series, I was like, fuck those guys.
Me too, and I'm not even a Jays fan.
But I wasn't like, that's the Royals. The Royals are still lovable to me, so I'm just enjoying the World Series. Although, good God, Fox did everything they could to make me not enjoy it.
Hey, speaking of that, now I think Joe Buck made a really great observation last night. Did you guys catch this?
No.
Did you know?
Was this when he was off the air?
No, it was on the air. And I'd never thought about this in all the years I've been a baseball fan. It's been a long time. Never occurred to me that baseball is about the pitcher on the mound and the batter at the plate. I thought, well, goddamn, that's fucking, that's just amazing.
God damn it! He solved it.
He sure did. I never thought of that before.
Fox has learned that breaking news is between the guy throwing the ball and the guy hitting the ball.
Yeah, he made this statement that was just like, dude, I don't know if you'd sat down and planned a way to just firmly grasp the obvious that you would have come up with anything different than that. But I missed the whole when everything fell apart. I was out of the room and I come back in and all of a sudden Matt Vasgersian's calling the game and I'm like, what the hell happened here?
Yeah, I guess the power went out in their production truck a couple times.
Okay.
And so they cut to the MLB International feed, which was Vasgersian.
It's awkward.
And, well, first they cut to the Fox studio where Dan O'Toole and a couple other baseball, I think Dontrell Willis, so the power's out. It's 1-1 in the fourth. And then eventually they cut to the MLB International feed where it's Vasgersian and John Smoltz.
They should have just cut to the Telemundo feed or something.
Well, they did that for a while, and then even though they were still in the MLB International feed, I start hearing Joe Buck come in, and I'm like, what the hell? Joe Buck kicked Matt Vasgersian and John Smoltz out for him and Harold Reynolds. And so on the international feed, it was Joe Buck and Reynolds until they fixed the Fox stuff again.
Really?
And they went back. I don't know whose call that was. It had to have been MLB's.
Yeah, right. I mean, I got to think it would have been like Fox or MLB or somebody because, Joe Buck's pretty good sport about most things. I can't imagine him pulling
Joe Buck, like everyone else from St. Louis, is a self-entitled douchebag. So I could have seen him pulling that.
This is my guy talking right here. Just speak the truth.
Well, you were talking about you start hating a team. Now, you guys, I've said it all along. I don't hate the Cardinals like you guys do, But man, when they played the Cubs, it was like they were my sworn enemy. I just hated that team. I'm like, God, I don't know what's happening to me here. But
I literally knew no one on that team. How did that Cardinals team win 100 games?
It still baffles me.
So Matt was a solid closer all season, and
then
Matt was really good at shortstop.
And don't forget Matt at first base, and then there was Matt in left field too.
And
There's
Triple
probably
A
a Connor and a Keith. And,
Right.
was fantastic in the field.
Don't forget random A and double A pitchers who randomly get called up and are suddenly, all-star pitching caliber pitchers.
I think their names were Mike and Scott, I believe.
Right. They have cardinal grit and determination. They go through the whole blessing process to become a cardinal, and they are imbued with evil magic, and that's what happens.
Now, you weren't here when I brought this up, Andy, so I'm going to bring it up again for your benefit. On it's a St. Louis Cardinals fan story. This was about maybe 6 months ago. I'm in Kitchener-Waterloo. For those unaware, it's a medium-sized town just outside of Toronto.
It's where Napoleon met his end.
Yes, and I'm just driving around town one day, and I see this guy in a Cardinals jersey, and he's, loading stuff into his car from the grocery store. And it's interesting because he's wearing a batting practice Cardinals jersey, and I swear to God, they're tucked into jean shorts.
That's so perfect.
It was. I just cracked.
In Canada.
First, it was just amazing. I saw one in the wild. Outside of Toronto, of all places.
I was poking around the internet today, just kind of seeing what was going on in the world of sports. And our dear friend, Sammy Watkins, wide receiver of the Buffalo Bills.
Calling out people on Instagram.
Very much so. It is lovely. Yes. If you don't mind, I've got it here. I'd like to read it to you all.
Please.
Oh, absolutely.
An excerpt from the words of Samuel Watkins.
Samuel Watkins, yeah, founding father. Sammy Watkins. To all the people that have a problem with me being injured, you guys go out there and play this sport. It's a 100% injury rate. I'm not first or last person that's gone be injured. Difference from me and you guys, y'all mad, and I'm not get a life and go to work. Stop worrying about my job because I'm good on this end, and forever we'll be losers, most of you. Just wish to be in this position, so continue working y'all little jobs for the rest of y'all lives. Since everyone wants a response here, go on, have a blessed day. There is no punctuation. There are no periods. There are no commas. Just a few apostrophes for y'all.
How could he have such horrific grammar but still manage to throw the apostrophes in there? That's just amazing.
Autocorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think it's I wish it hadn't been autocorrect because it's a better story if he fucked it all up like that, but still managed to get the apostrophes in.
That's
the coolest thing.
I didn't see his apology, but real quick,
he released an apology
on Instagram.
Again on Instagram with a picture of him catching a football in practice.
What does it say? Do you have it pulled up?
Oh yeah.
Let's hear it.
Just want to, capital T, thank all my fans for their support. Please don't retract yesterday's statement.
Wait, so did he say, please do not retract my statement from yesterday, or please
just want to, capital T, thank all my fans for their support. Please don't retract yesterday's statement.
Don't retract it.
Okay.
So he's apologizing for it, but don't retract it. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a similar sort of thing to when celebrities' agents petition for certain photos of their talent to be removed from the internet, quote unquote, as if that's going to actually happen.
It's a real Algonquin roundtable they've got going over at the NFL, isn't it?
The best part of his initial post, I mean, in spite of how just dumb it makes him sound, is he says, so continue working y'all little jobs for the rest of y'all lives, since everyone wants, O-N-C-E, wants a response.
Once sounds like wants.
Here, go one, have a blessed day. Everyone wants,
one.
It's like, that's not even autocorrect. That's just dumb.
Wow.
Now, where did he go to school?
Clemson, right?
Clemson.
I'm guessing he didn't
For
go
a year, I think. For like 2 years, the minimum.
I wanted to really know. So, I mean, with the Wonderlic, I don't have his draft thing pulled up to see what he scored on that. But I wonder, like, where they draw the line with the Wonderlic of, like, literacy. Like,
Vince Young was apparently illiterate when he took his.
That's the thing. I think the Wonderlic only matters really if you're a quarterback. I don't think it matters if you're a receiver. Can you run fast and catch footballs? Great, go over there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Something just like this whole thing breeds a lot of awful stuff where it's like it just kind of shines a light on like, is this how people like talk? I mean, it's not just him. It's not just this guy who's, this, for probably the last 10, 15 years of his life has basically been like, molded to play in the NFL or college or, football at a high level. And so he's basically just foregone learning anything, much less proper,
How many of his essays do you think he wrote in college?
How
many classes did he take that required essays in college?
He might have taken that one class with that Rosa Parks essay. That wouldn't have shocked.
Well, that was North Carolina, wrong Carolina, Mike.
Yeah, but still, it's the Carolinas. I think some things are.
I don't think that would have been that much of a difference between.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. People are allowed to be okay. It's like looking at Robert Kraft and like all in the emails with him and Tom Brady. That were they like this didn't know how to spell basic words. And
now, sometimes people can be very intelligent and not be a great speller. That happens.
Sure, but that boggles my mind that the owner of a company and a team,
right?
I mean, a gentleman by all regards, and a crafty businessman and a kind man, but yet when it comes to typing email, it's just like, dude.
See, I was going to say.
I think part of it's conversational email, and two,
yeah, it's true. I guess
it's technology. That's how people type. Like there's an editor at one of my newspapers that when he contracts me for a story, when instead of just saying, "Hey, are you available to write a story?" he'll write the letter R and the letter U, in like a text message or in an email, because that's just he's typing on his phone, and that's what you're accustomed to doing when typing on your phone.
Yeah,
so it's not like, but then it's not like he types like that in the actual written words he puts out.
Sure,
like an idiot, but it's just how people talk.
Yeah,
type with the phone.
I was going to say in like Robert Kraft's case, I think it's pretty clear he's a pretty intelligent guy. Right. Maybe just a poor speller. I don't know that I would love to make that same argument for Sammy Watkins, but I don't think I can. Much as I'd like to, I got to say that, you know what? The spelling's probably part of a larger intelligence issue. How's that for putting it diplomatically?
Go to the root of it. I mean, as far as not the root of it, but I mean, the guy is posting this crap on social media. I mean, as a first round pick, he was picked like second or something.
He was a top 10 for sure. I think, right? Yeah,
top 5. I thought
he might be
high profile.
Yeah, I think it was 5. Yeah,
I thought it was top 5. Anyway, he's basically belittling people who are not working. And this crap happens in the NFL all the time. They have a really poor, some teams do, poor habit of going to the media primarily towards like, hey, you don't understand, you don't play. And you can never understand because you don't play. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously there's certain things we can't understand because we don't play, but we're still human beings. We still understand the human condition and how things function and have common sense. But I guess this crap where it's just like, hey, keep working y'all little jobs. Like, dude, that is so low.
It is, but you know why it doesn't bother me? And this is going to sound really cold and callous, but in 5 years, he's going to be out of football, broke, and he'll never get a job as good as mine. It's as simple as that. So it doesn't bother me a bit.
He'll be lucky to have a little job.
And it wasn't just the general people. He was doing it because people were getting after him on his Instagram, telling him that because he's injured now. Yeah. And so I guess there was a bunch of fans on his Instagram telling him that he's not tough enough or strong enough to play in the NFL because he's injured now. Yeah. And so he just didn't – he got fed up with people saying that. So he wanted to say that you all suck.
Then say you all suck, but you don't have to take the shot at the fact that we're not millionaires like he is, I mean, I understand his frustration. I get that. But like Andy said, it's just a low blow to, tell people that pay a portion of your salary. I won't say all of it because the TV money pays most of it. But
again, you got to think of the type of person that's going on to an athlete's Instagram account.
Yeah.
Who's injured in football of all things, the most violent sport we have in North America at a professional level.
Well, now to be fair,
that's injured. Like, what? Yeah, you're not tough enough to play in the NFL. Neither are you. You go out there and get both your knees blown out.
But that's not what he said.
No,
that's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
He didn't word it correctly. I know.
No, I'm not even going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. He was basically like, screw you. You know, I'm an NFL player. You aren't. You guys do what you're going to do. But at the end of the day, you've got to go work.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying the type of people that post that. He's responding to a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I agree with that. But sometimes you've got to be the bigger idiot, or I guess the better idiot, or however you want to put it.
Now, this brings an interesting point up that I kind of wanted to discuss with you guys. I didn't even realize this, so it's kind of a new ground for me. It's okay. So not to go back to a Chicago thing, but so Alshon Jeffrey.
Now let's go back to the Chicago.
Let's go back to Chicago in Haverfield's.
Watkins drafted 4th overall, by the way. Just throw that in.
4th overall? Okay.
4th overall, yep.
I thought it was top 5, but so there's Alshon Jeffrey, star wide receiver, making for the Bears, gets hurt. He's been out off and on with some soft tissue injury for weeks, and he finally came back last week. Now, part of the discussion was that you may recall Devin Hester, who had a very successful career. The story came out recently that Devin Hester was, and this is a pretty common NFL thing, just in general. If you are not 100%, there are certain players who, if they are not completely 100% healthy, they will not play. And by 100%, I mean in their own mind, 100%. So there's guys who go out there on the offensive line who play with broken hands and concussions and stuff, and they go out there and muscle it out. I guess, that's just what they do.
Out there in the trenches where the meat play.
But but I just find it amazing that that just is a thing. But it made me think of a different perspective on, because
you don't need no pansy wide receiver out there. Just throw Ditka out on a wide receiver.
Just have him just take a shotgun and blow his head off and bring some other guy in here fast.
Take
my nephew down in
the offensive line and put him at wide receiver. He can take a hit.
My cousin Tony can run real fast. I'll have him sign a free contract. I'll play for $1 an hour. You know,
and a hot dog.
Into Polish after practice every day. But there is a thing. It made me have a different perspective on players. And now it's got to be so hard for NFL coaches to say to these guys, "We're a team. Like we're gonna do this together. You have to buy in." And then you've got a guy who is completely aware that his career, he'll be lucky if he can play till he's 30. It'd be amazing if he played till he was 30. More likely he's going to play till he's 25 or 26 before he avoids injury or before he gets injured, or just simply fades out of the league. So everybody in the league, if you think about it, especially from the skill positions, are totally in it for themselves. Absolutely, 100%. This team buy-in crap, that's for the lines. That's for defense, especially.
And really, it's for the backup players more than the stars.
Exactly.
I'd go a step further and say it's for kids in high school and college.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Yes. But, so a coach works his way up through the ranks, blah, 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 ends up in the NFL. In that team.
What are you asking? You're taking a long time to get to.
Sorry. Basically, do you excuse NFL players for being selfish?
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, that was like a really long, bad sports phone call where folks is like, yeah, get to your point, Mike in Roseville. Come on, you're killing airtime here.
All right, you're killing it. Let's go to Andy down in Champaign. Andy, what do you got?
Hey, first time caller, the last caller stole my thunder. I got to just pull something out of my butt here. So Jay,
let's go to Mike in Toronto. Mike.
Go Leafs.
Thank you.
I waited for an hour on
Greg in Ohio. Greg in Ohio.
Fucking flame it out.
Oh, you can't swear in the air, Greg.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back on the Zoo 95.8.
Zoo. Yeah.
You're listening to BJ and the Bear right here on 97.1 Sports Talk Radio.
The sports animal.
BJ and the Bear. That sounds terrible.
That was an old TV show, wasn't it?
Was it really?
Yeah, I think it was a guy that drove a truck and he had a chimp. I'm almost positive.
Well, it's very apropos then. But yeah, do you forgive or do you tolerate or are you cool with NFL players being just total?
Yeah. Then
Zach said no, so I'll let him go first.
I do. Yeah.
You're okay with it or you're not? Because we were.
I am okay with it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What? Who said
these guys?
One of us said no, and the other one. I said I was okay with it. You said you weren't first time.
Yeah.
Around.
Well, I misheard the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these guys. The average career is what, 3 years, something like that.
3.5. Yeah. It's not much.
And these guys, and that's either them not being good enough to stick in the league, or breaking something and not being able to come back. Like I already said, when we talked about Sammy Watkins, it's the most physically demanding sport that we have, insofar as simply injuries and head trauma and all that sort of crap. And a lot of these guys, their whole lives leading up to their NFL career have been solely to get them an NFL job so that they can get some money to pay for mama back home or something like that. Because there's a lot of these guys that come from low-income areas and have to grow up, and this is their ticket out of it or whatever. And I don't blame them at all for trying to make as much money as they can or try to come out on the other side as unconcussed as possible.
But, I mean, but when it comes to, like, winning and losing, man, I mean, I understand, like, I feel like that
It doesn't matter to some guys.
Yeah, but I think it matters to most. I think that, I mean, I'll be the first to tell you that I don't believe for a second that there are any NFL teams that are all rah, high school, college type deals. But winning means more money, first off, for everybody. So, of course, that matters. I think it matters to them to win or lose, but to a certain point, we want to win, but I don't think it's because of the team. I think it's because they know that, like Sammy Watkins knows that the Bills go to the Super Bowl and he has a good game, he's going to make more money. So I kind of got lost there, but you know what I'm saying.
I think another thing that you need to look at is, these guys do make a lot of money. Who's paying them that money? It's the owners. And from the perspective of the old rich white guys, I feel like someone needs to stand up for them because no one does, damn it.
The old rich white guys are losing their pedestal in America. You're right, Mike.
Exactly. Yes. They need but if you sign a contract, if you're getting paid X, amount of millions of dollars for X number of years, then God damn it, as an owner, I don't think they're outside of their rights to say, damn it, I'm paying you this salary to play football. Get out there and play football.
But you see, here's where we run into a problem, though, because with the concussion thing and all the head trauma stuff, you're walking a fine line here because it's like, I think that every coach somewhere along the way, I think all the way down to Pop Warner probably, is walking that fine line between, okay, my star player's hurt, but I need him. And you've heard many a story about guys that were forced, not forced, but talked into playing that probably shouldn't have and all that. So,
that's the RG3 story. I'm convinced when it's all said and done.
So
but again, but sometimes it's not them being forced. There's a lot of these guys that you see it every week that when they get taken off, it's like, no, don't talk to me.
Yeah, there's that too.
I don't want you to look at me because I want to continue to play. And that's something they learn at Pop Warner in high school and college. And like you said, Greg, winning and losing means a lot to those guys because it's ingrained in them all the way up. And playing hard and not being a wuss and being able to play through pain is something that they're taught also. So I think the guys that are like, no, I'm just in it for me and the money, it is a very small minority. But the ones that are in that minority are usually these star players.
Right.
And that's where
you had Randy Moss and his whole I'm only going to play when I feel like it attitude.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to be a special teamer in the NFL and be I'm all about me. That you're never going to have a job. So yeah, you've got to have the ability and the talent to stand out that much above the crowd that you can get away with it. First off, but. The NFL, I think I remember somebody compared it to boxing once in an article I read. It's the new boxing. Where you have a lot of people that play it, but not because they love it, but because that's where the money is.
Oh, man, that's so hard that's such a difficult comparison, man. Boxing, you're literally punching the other guy in the freaking head.
I know, but what I'm saying is
these guys are ramming each other in the head.
What I'm saying is
over and over and over again.
I think like in hockey, you get a lot of guys. I think that I'd say 90%, maybe even higher, play hockey because they love to play hockey.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably the same.
Good Canadian boys.
Cam out there on the ice sheet. Kicking
same,
around the frozen
From
back.
Regina, Saskatchewan.
same as,
Oh,
same thing
out there on the plains of Saskatoon. Gordon Cam just said, hey, let's go play some hack.
Gordon Cam, I just want to say, just might be the most Canadian name I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah. No, me and Gord took down a moose the other day. Did you see that? Oh, he was about $5 high.
What the hell is going on? Your Canadian accent is just screaming.
It happened. Just sit back and let it roll over you. That's all you can do.
Hey. It's okay. I'm sorry for taking over the show.
All right.
Anyway, it's the same thing as hockey, baseball, and basketball. I think you have a lot more people that play for the love of the game. I think there are people in the NFL that do play for the love of the game, but there's a lot less of it. Like you get a guy that's just good at football, may not enjoy it, but he's like, hey, you know what? I'm good at it. I can make money at it, so I play it.
It improves my anticipation and enjoyment of sports if I can see like a team like, say, the Orlando Magic or LA Clippers or whomever, the Denver Nuggets, make a nice deep run and threaten for a title, because it's like, how unconventional is that? And there's just a lot of fans who are just aching to see those teams win. So the Clippers, I was rooting for them. Now that I see their uniforms, I want them to not win a single game all season, because I want these uniforms to be associated with shame and losing. And
I think the best part was I saw like one of the TNT commercials for the opening nights, and in the commercial they have DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, and Blake Griffin. They're all sailing a Clipper ship like on the road to like go fight something, and then it reminded me. There's no ship in their logo.
No.
There hasn't been. If anybody's seen that commercial, they're probably asking themselves, why is Blake Griffin on a boat? They probably don't get it.
Real quick. Okay. Let's real fast. Everybody. Worst 3 uniforms in all sports. Go.
All sports?
Los Angeles Clippers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
3.
Is there anyone else that cracks the bottom? In all of the, let's say the big 4.
Okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
Wow.
Can you add anything else? So you have Clippers, Buccaneers.
Clippers definitely in there, yeah.
Clippers.
Bucks. I'm trying to go like each with a different sport.
Trying to think, but it's so hard because those are the obvious 3.
Yeah.
I can't think of like any. There's no baseball uniform that I look at and say that's garbage.
No,
That's
I mean, I think the worst uniforms in the league probably at this point are probably Colorado's. They're not terrible. I mean, they're just, they're just not good. But
and then in hockey, Colorado again, Calgary.
The new Arizona Coyotes road uniform is just a abomination. It's awful.
I like the road a lot better than the home. Actually,
I think I liked. If I remember right, I liked both of the new looks.
I thought they were massive disappointments.
They look like they're wearing like sleeveless shirts.
Yeah. I don't know. And then I have to see the Atlanta Hawks jersey a little bit more in action before I can make an accurate opinion. Because I liked them initially when I saw them. But,
yeah, so did I. But I got to see them on the court. But
yeah, the ones that are far and away are the Jaguars, simply just because of the goddamn helmets.
Oh, that Jaguars uniform is just a couple steps from being really good. Actually,
it's one step. It's one step.
Well, I'd say 2. I think you got to. There's a couple little like minor things too to fix in the jersey, but the helmet's got to go.
We've railed on the helmet for years.
Yeah, but I think if they just went with like the black jersey over white and then just went like straight up all white, they'd look good.
I was actually talking to a Buccaneer fan the last couple of days.
Oh God!
And we were just talking about like sports and favorite teams and stuff. And I was talking about we got a subject of the Buccaneers, and I was like, "How are you a fan of that?"
Of that,
they told me, "Well, I love the logo." In the helmet, I love it. I love that logo with the flag and the pirate and the skull.
They do have a great logo. I think the helmet's really nice.
All I said was clock numbers. I was like, clock numbers. And she was just like, it was just like,
yeah, it's like the thing.
But it was just like, and she's not no slouch either. She's a big fan. And she's like, it's like, well, I just don't, it doesn't matter. They're not the best. They're not as good as they were, but it's just, obviously, it's not important to some people, which is incredible. Because if my team wore that bull crap out there every single week, it'd be just like, I just kind of put my hand to the side of my face and be like, oh God.
I wouldn't buy one of those jerseys if I was a Buccaneers fan.
No.
My Mike All-Star jersey every week is what I do.
If I were a Buccaneers fan, I'd just buy a creamsicle jersey and just rock that, but.
Yeah, that's it.
I'd always been hanging by a thread with the Browns. When they changed uniforms this year, that was like, that's it.
Do
the only
these
resemblance
uniforms enter your top 3 worst?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're that bad.
No, they're
not the worst. No, I mean they're again a couple fixes from being pretty good.
The Jacksonville uniform goes. It's there via principle. It must be there.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't do the helmet.
It's unacceptable.
No,
Someone in NBA properties should have stepped in and said no.
Well, I remember last year my little stupid best and worst list that I do every week on the boards.
Sure, yeah, I love those.
I did one last year where Jacksonville had on the black jersey, the white pants, and they looked really good. And I said, I'm going to ignore the helmet. And Jesus, you would have thought I'd said, I'm going to kill puppies and kittens right here on YouTube and show it to everybody.
You can't do that.
I know. I thought I was trying to throw a bone to the people that say you only care about traditional uniforms. I wanted to show, no, that's not the case.
Honestly, even if the thing that if they wanted to keep that stupid aesthetic with the black and the gold, if they had just flipped the colors so their dumb description was accurate, with the jaguar leaping out of the shadows to attack its prey, except this one's an idiot and is jumping back into the darkness.
Well, you know.
What's strange is we did our little top 3 here. We pretty much all have the same teams.
Well, what do you think about the new Browns uniforms, Andy, while we've got you here?
Total waste of an opportunity. Absolutely. Like, that word mark is hilarious. Like, that to me, when I saw the word mark on the pants, I'm like, that took this design from being marginally not embarrassing to simply unprofessional.
I used to have a pair of sweatpants that looked like that.
Right. That is just, they blew it. They blew it.
Well,
and it's, you can defend it all you want. It is this to me, and I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but like, you know, when the Bills had their awful redesign where they were like navy blue, but they had some white blue in there.
Yeah.
It is that. And I'm guessing in like 2 or 3 years, what's going to happen is probably next year, they'll unveil some like kick-ass throwback alternate jersey. And everyone's going to be like, that's the stuff there. And those things will fucking sell like hotcakes.
Like Miami did this year.
Yeah.
Those things are gorgeous. Sorry, I just got hard. Like a rush of blood just went to my penis at the very thought of like Miami's uniforms and their look now is so dog shit. And that they have like these sweet, like incredibly high resolution photos of Tannehill wearing this uniform. And it's just like, fuck yeah. Look at all this. The colors.
As soon as they go to those, the first game that they roll those out, everyone's going to be calling for them for.
I think they, in 2 weeks, I think they wear those against the Giants.
Yeah.
It's going to look fantastic.
It's going to be a great game.
God.
But that's the thing I don't get. It's like, how could they, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They talk about wasted opportunities. Miami was another one. They could have done okay with that, but Jesus, I don't know.
As soon as the sad thing is, like, as soon as you see like the initial like logo, the stupid like toothpaste dolphin, it's just like,
toothpaste dolphin.
It's what it is. Looks like Crest. I mean, they just kind of.
I was thinking Aquafresh, but yeah, you're right. Yeah,
right, exactly. Yeah. Or Aquafresh, right? So I mean, it's just kind of like this has no personality or soul. The old dolphin wearing a helmet, you could make fun of it all you want, but damn it. It was using these like bursting, vibrant colors, which is like the team is in fucking Miami of all places, you know. And instead, they could have lit this lame dolphin generic logo with these lame like desaturated colors and this nothing font. It sucks. All of it sucks. It's not overcomplicated, no, but it's just bad. It's
I think the butt word mark is my favorite.
What are they going to be? This is what, year 3 of the new ones or year 4?
Of the 3, I think.
So we've got 2 more years, and they're going to go right back to these throwbacks they're bringing out because those things are fucking gorgeous.
Honestly, I don't think I've said this before. I don't think the Dolphins uniforms are that bad. If they still had the old logo with these current uniforms,
there's just the colors have just been too muted in this new look. It's just too much.
What's encouraging though is like what I think gave a lot of people hope was that it's like, okay, you know, we've been through a few disasters here. But the Minnesota Vikings found their way. Yeah. And the numbers, they're not perfect, but they have personality and they don't ruin it at all. But they're like the Vikings right now where they are, they should just like stay there. Just keep that. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, but there's money to be made.
Or Buffalo. Yeah. Buffalo did talk about a great update. Just perfect.
They fixed their problems. And I think that there's alternates. You can make alternates and throwbacks all you want, but when the throwback is infinitely superior, like not even close, not even remotely close to being in the same league of quality, then it's like, maybe we screwed this up. And I think the same thing when the damn Rams where the throwbacks where it's just like, oh, that's what the Rams should look like. That's
the bright
every Sunday,
bright royal blue and gold
white.
and
No.
Not the blue and white, Greg. I'm sorry. I know you love the old navy and white Rams, the Penn State Rams.
The Penn State.
But I mean, on TV,
Penn State Nittany Rams.
it's just like, look how gorgeous that is. Like these yellows, just like it's oozing off my television.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that's what the Dolphins, like the Dolphins were like, oh, because if I'm not mistaken, the Dolphins have new ownership it's different ownership than the ownership group that went to the current uniforms. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And so it wouldn't surprise me if they're like, we want to go back to like tradition. We want to go back to the traditional Dolphins. Like, well, you can't for 2 years. Well, okay, we'll do a throwback until we can.
Right.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the Dolphins too is that they don't have the helmet thing's not going to be an issue with them. They can just change decals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Okay, are you allowed to change the face mask or not?
You are, yes.
Okay, I was going to say because if not, they've got a problem. But okay.
No, you're allowed to change the face mask. And you're allowed to change the decals.
It's the stupidest rule.
It really is.
So you can take apart the helmet, but you can't change it.
Yeah.
No.
I made the mistake of Google image searching the new the Dolphins throwback, and oh my god,
God damn, they're beautiful, man. They're just perfect.
I am erect right now.
All right. Anyway,
it's what a football team should look like. That is dignity and tradition. And it's,
yeah, and the Dolphins aren't some new expansion team. This is a team, goes back to like the late 60s, early 70s. They went undefeated in the 70s,
up until I want to say till like the late 90s, they were like a perennial playoff team.
Yeah.
Once they got good.
I think they had the orange alternate, but they also had like this really weird navy one that I think they maybe never wore. It might have been a fashion
I think it was just a fashion jersey, yeah.
But because they had that weird like navy drop shadow.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, it worked. Like I didn't care about it. Go ahead.
My only memory of that Navy Dolphins jersey, the only reason why like I know for sure that it actually existed was because in grade 6, my grade 6 Hebrew teacher wore it.
It's the 6th grade for all you Americans.
But yeah, it was for Sunday school, learning a Hebrew so I could do my bar mitzvah. And our Hebrew teacher came in wearing a, Navy Miami Dolphins Dan Marino jersey. Nice. And she was like, oh yeah, no, a friend got me this because I'm a Dolphins fan. So I thought I'd wear it. I'm like, and even back in grade 6, I'm like, that's Navy. That's not aqua. That's not what the Dolphins wear.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach's Tabs.
Zach's Tabs!
Thank you, Mike.
Take it away, Maestro.
Well, the Washington professional football team, they have some pretty eccentric fans. You've seen the people wearing the hog noses and things like that.
And the dresses, yes. It's a very...
Yeah. Well, this one fan had a good time at the game on Sunday as they came back against the Buccaneers. You'll see that if you scroll down, there's a man sitting there watching the game, and a drunken woman on the ground.
Oh, well. That's, what would you call that? Like afternoon delight? Something along those lines? Or should we just call it what it is? The guy's getting blown in the stands.
Oh, man. I love the casual demeanor on his face. He's just kind of like...
He's not even... He doesn't even look happy. He's just like...
Are the two guys on his left or right playing lookout? Or what's the deal? Because
I do not know.
Okay, all right.
Go on. Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't even know where to begin with this, but I'll just kind of freestyle here. First off, this is taking place in a stadium. I'm not going to say 80,000 people because let's be serious here. It's Washington. We'll say 50,000 people in the stands. A guy to his left, a guy to his right. How does he perform in this situation? I guess would be my question.
I guess if you're either drunk or horny enough, you just don't care.
Do you think that's really what's going on, or is it just, well, I don't know.
I don't know what else it could be.
It could be staged, I suppose, just to try to get a dead spin.
If you read the article, there's a story that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Where the witnesses described that she was very drunk and
the guy in the Taylor jersey, quote, going as far as motorboating the woman in front of everyone with her clothes on.
Yes.
Well.
Yes.
So, and this is not like, a supermodel that's engaging in this activity.
No.
It's the behind Burger King $20 blue light special.
This is what is known as a moped girl. Fun to ride until your friends see you on it.
It's everything you'd expect from a drunken hookup at an NFL game.
Exactly. Okay, what's next?
Well, we continue along the same theme.
Joy.
Legendary
more than
LA
one of these?
Kings. Huh?
There was more than one of these?
Well, no, just kind of the below the pants type.
Okay.
Theme. Legendary LA Kings broadcaster Bob Miller. Obviously, hockey is a sport known for its double entendres. And Bob Miller caught himself in one the other night on Monday against the Edmonton Oilers.
He's standing in front of the net with about 8 inches of his shaft in his hand.
He stood there with about 8 inches of his shaft in his hands.
There's still more left for you.
Yeah.
It's great that way.
I think the look on his face is the best part.
Hockey's fantastic. Poke check, too many men on the ice, so many.
That is fantastic. Okay.
Again, we're staying with a sexual theme here in these tabs. We know, you know our good friend, the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson.
Oh, God.
yeah.
Talks to him, yeah.
And his girlfriend, Sierra, the former pop star, rap star, I guess you'd call her. Well, remember, they've agreed to not have sex because that's what God told them in a dream or some stuff. So then they've channeled. They went to a costume party for Halloween this week, obviously. Just all strapped up in leather, the two of them. And you know that there's something else going on behind all that.
Is he Black Batman?
Yes.
Well, as black as Russell Wilson is, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is right. His some teammates don't think he's black enough.
Yeah.
Oh, the cornball brother.
To use the term, yes.
I mean, I don't look at that and see,
Sexual frustration?
If you channel in the context of it, two people that,
it's just.
I don't know. What I see is like a rich douchebag with a lot of money, like taking advantage of the fact that he can buy a Batmobile and all that shit. That's what I say.
It's the worst Batmobile too. It's the one from either.
Yeah.
I think that's Batman Forever.
Is that like that's like the George Clooney Batmobile?
I was
Isn't
going to say, I think it's Batman and Robin's Batmobile. It's,
Well, again, and to relive the quote from Russell Wilson earlier this year, Sierra was on tour, and I was looking at her in the mirror, and God spoke to me. He said, I need you to lead her. And I told her, what would you do if we took away all that, quote, extra stuff off the table and did it Jesus' way?
And she said, you mean I don't have to touch you and I still get to hang out with you and spend all your money? Absolutely.
And Russell Wilson continued, clarifying that he was, yes, talking about sex.
Well.
Just so we had to be like, Jesus' way. By the way, we're talking about sex.
what a tool.
Yes.
Pretty much.
God, he's the worst. He is the absolute worst.
Yes.
So I'm glad his team is terrible this season.
All right, what's next?
There's two things. I'll make it down to one thing because the other one's not very interesting.
What about
Unless
my
you want to
Cleveland
talk
Browns
about
thing?
some space trash that's coming
Nah, that shit never hits anything. It's not interesting.
Well, it could be one of the old Apollo rockets.
Oh, that's
Really?
going to hit Earth?
Yeah.
It's going to land on Friday the 13th, yeah.
Yeah. The last thing, and this is for you, Greg, is Halloween is around the corner. A Cleveland area fan decided to decorate their yard. Now, we've seen the Cleveland quarterback jersey with all the names on it. This is the Cleveland quarterback graveyard. With a every quarterback since 1999.
They must have a really big yard.
There's a lot of tombstones.
Oh, wow. Look, they got the years and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's, I can't see Tim Couch on there. I'm assuming he's in it.
He's there. You know, he's
Hoyer.
one of the-
Forrest.
Oh, what's this one say? Somebody coming soon, it looks like it says.
I would just like to say in regarding this that I'm so glad that there's another team now that has inherited the quarterback just Death Valley from the Bears that has just taken it and just run with it.
Well, I mean, you've had Smoke and Jay for a good while now, so that took you off the schneid.
Man, but yeah,
It's This team should have. I mean, I get they wanted a franchise back and all that, but they really should have called it something else because I think
the Browns.
They're cursed, man. Come on.
I understand that Cleveland fans are like, we want our Browns back, but isn't letting this current gang of fuck-ups call themselves the Browns, doesn't that do damage to the Browns' legacy? It doesn't preserve it. It, damages the legacy of the real team.
Yeah, well, because first off, anybody that was around for both teams knows that this isn't the real team, and that's impressive. They had to put a lot of work into that. Nice job. Zach has dropped off, so let's wrap it up.
Okay, bye, Zach. Anyway, it was a pleasure being on again.
Absolutely.
We'll have to do it again soon. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, see ya. Okay, folks, you know the routine. Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports. Go to the website, basicallysportshow.com. Subscribe via iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and the YouTube's. Mike, you're the only one left. Oh, wait, Zach just popped back on. Any final thoughts, guys?
Check out the next episode of Basically a Geek Show where Jack and I discuss the Star Wars trailer. And also check out Basically a Geek Show because Zach and I discuss some Dragon Ball Z.
This one's not Dragon Ball Z. This is Dragon Ball Super.
Super Transformers Dragon Ball.
All right, and on that note, we are done. We'll see you next time.
Later. Bye.
Please hang up and try again.